What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Man, I tell you what. It's been a while. I hadn't done a video in a long time. That's because I went this past weekend. Spent some time at the house. Spent some time with my family, with my son. Went and saw Captain Marvel. We'll get to that in a minute. Went and got to see Fastlane, too. Watched it at the house. Why is everybody breaking their head? Could it be because they're all idiots who don't know how to drive? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Oh, I'm over here rolling through Montgomery, Virginia, which is between Salem and Christiansburg, up here off 81. Going back to Grayson, Kentucky. I got to be there about 5 o'clock this evening. I'll be there well before that. I'm about 4 hours away. And it is 7:30 in the morning. So I'll be there around lunchtime. Probably get another load tonight. Take it Lord knows where. And I will not be coming back home until Easter. Maybe not even then, to tell you the truth. I want to come home for Easter, but money controls that situation. July, big things are coming July 4th weekend. So there will be more about that as that weekend approaches in my life. And I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. I have a plan. And it's just a plan for now. Trying to pull this 1 year. Well, I got a 2-year lease with this company. And let's just say I may not make it with this company for 2 years because it's weird, man. And I know I've said this in other videos, but it's so much different being in the business now than it was 7 years ago. Or 6 years ago, I should say. When I was on the road before from 2011 through 2013, or late 2011 to late 2013, I did not have a family. I did not have custody of my son, which that was a long battle, but that's a story for another day. So I ended up, basically, I lived in my truck for that period of time. I would go and stay with my friend Robert Wells whenever I would come in for home time, or stay in the truck whenever I come in for home time. But I literally had no responsibilities. I mean, I had no rent. My dad at the time had me on his cell phone plan. So I had no bills to pay whatsoever. No responsibilities whatsoever. My life was the job, and the job was my life. But now things have changed. You know, I got a family to think about. I got a son to think about. So, you know, and I like being around them more. So I want to go home more. So the problem with going home more often is that in this company and in this lease situation that I'm in, my fixed cost for my business do not stop. You know, it's the same as if you own a store. The light bill is still due. The rent is still due. For that store, that overhead is still there. You know, no matter what. No matter if you do, you know, business one day and close the shop the next, that overhead doesn't stop. And that's the situation I'm in. And it's like that to where when I go home for a weekend, it takes me 2 weeks to make that money back just to break even. And it takes me 2 weeks just to start making money again after I go home. And, you know, I could stay out long enough, put money into my emergency fund so that I can go home. But then again, what you know, if I got to save money to go home, it's not worth it to me, you know. It'd be different if I said, okay, I don't make a paycheck this week, but I'll make one next week. But no, it's not like that with me, because the company will take their lease payment and their overhead out of my paycheck until I break even. Then I'll start making money if I can continue to pay those fixed costs. Right now, I'm about $110 in the hole with the company. Next week, that's going to increase to probably about $2,000. The following week, I'll probably make money. And I can't continue to do that. I can't. Granted, money isn't everything. The majority of the reason why I got back into trucking is because fucking people. You know, I hate dealing with people. And this is a job where you don't have to deal with people, a lot of people. Working for call centers and for Comcast and everywhere else, and having to deal with bitchy ass whiny millennials and old motherfuckers who can't have no business being near technology, let alone the internet, because they don't want to learn how to work it. So I'm getting myself worked up already. That made me almost have a nervous breakdown, for real. I almost considered, you know, it got to the point where I mean, I've documented this here on the channel. It got to the point where it triggered my bipolar disorder, and I had to be put on antidepressants, because I would literally go downstairs to my desk in my, you know, every day into my office and get sick to my stomach before I even turned the computer on, and got a headache before I even turned the computer on. So that's why I got back into this. I didn't get back into this for the money. The money is damn good. The money, when I'm making money, and the money helps. But I can't, you know, what's the point of doing this and paying for a house and paying for this and paying for that, saving up for a vacation, if at the end of the day I really can't afford to take one? So, and I really can't afford to go home and enjoy the fruits of my labor, so to speak. So I'm seriously thinking about that when July rolls around. My 1 year with the company is up in June. I could walk away from the lease clean, without any credit damages or anything like that, and be done with this company and go to work with another one if I needed to, or if I wanted to. And part of me is seriously thinking about it. So I knew what I was getting into before I even, don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching about it. I know what I was getting into before I signed on the dotted line. The goal for me always was get the CDL, do the 1 year with the company, and then find something else. And the whole reason why I did not become a company driver is because with this, me being a private contractor and being leased, I could turn down loads. I could choose when I want to go home. The problem is that I can't afford to go home. So the negatives... In 2 miles. The positive, you know... 18 sepia on the right, 4, US 11. The negatives kind of outweigh the positives. Blacksburg and Christiansburg. Okay, Jimmy. So that's where I stand right now. I will say also, so I went home, and let me do this. I'll split this up into 2 videos. I'm going to start with I'll talk WWE, I'll talk wrestling, and The Walking Dead in this video, and I'll do the Captain Marvel stuff in another video, because I got a lot to say about Captain Marvel. So I got to watch Fastlane last weekend. I know I'm way late with my review, about a week late. I thought that pay-per-view was about it was like watching a 4-hour episode of Raw. In 1 mile, take exit 1, 18 sepia on the right, 4, US 11. So, For me, it was like watching an hour-long or 4-hour episode of Raw with the constant Elias cut-ins and the promos and this and that and that and this and the women, the women and all that. Just, the fucking women's matches were horrible, okay? They were goddamn horrible. Especially the Nia Jax and Tamina versus Bayley and Sasha. All 4 of those women sucked, in my opinion. You want to get treated, and before the SJWs come out, you're just putting down women. You're a sexist white male. Yeah. If you want to be treated as equally as a man in this fucking business and in this profession, you better damn well be ready to take the same kind of criticism, which is what I'm doing now. Your fucking matches, all the women's matches sucked. Sucked. Charlotte and Becky was the only one that I might give a pass to because it was more of an angle than a match, which is why this whole fucking thing, again, felt like an episode of Raw. Asuka's a damn good worker. It's not her fault. Mandy Rose is a goddamn diva. She's a goddamn diva. She's no different than the Bella Twins to me. The Iconics are just as bad. I mean, at least the Iconics own up to it. To me now, because of this whole women's revolution, there is a difference between a diva and a woman's wrestler. And I'm sorry, Mandy Rose is a diva. Hell, it's sad that they've even put Alexa Bliss in that category, because Alexa Bliss was the one that I thought that could teeter that line and make both sides of the table work. I thought that again, just the women's matches just sucked. The whole Kofi Kingston thing, I liked it, and I was in the AC camp. I'll admit it, AC. I was in your camp, man, until Tuesday rolled around. Sorry, guys. I'm having to get off on an exit here, so I'm concentrating. I thought the AJ Styles Randy Orton thing was good. I thought their promo Tuesday night was good. About, hey, you were tanning on a beach with Dixie Carter. Oh yeah, well my daddy didn't get me a job. Back and forth they went. It was so good. I thought the match between Daniel Bryan and when they brought Mustafa Ali out there, the crowd just went, ugh. And they tried with Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali, there's still chances for him to be put in that main event role. To me, it is still clear, okay? It is still clear that they want Mustafa Ali in that role, and I think Sunday night, this past Sunday, was a test to say, can we still put him in that spot? And the answer that the fans gave you, the answer that the fans gave you was no. He got injured, sucks to be him, but Kofi kind of just fell into the fans' laps. The fans liked what they were given, and accidents happen, and this was a glorious, beautiful accident, and we're glad it took place. So now they're pushing Kofi. Kofi's probably... Now here's the thing. Does Kofi Kingston win the title at WrestleMania? I say yes. Now, you're going to get your happy WrestleMania moment in New York with the fans. By the way, that promo Tuesday night, my God, that was a Bruce Pritchard promo if I ever heard one. That promo was so written by Bruce Pritchard or Paul Heyman. And the Kofi Kingston thing, it's good business. They're reverse engineering it by saying he's a B plus. Daniel Bryan is the one calling him a B plus player. So I like that aspect of it. They're just doing a really good job of it. Crazy Grandpa. Pulling out the rug, battling the gauntlet, being Mr. McMahon. I still think this is somehow leading to a New Day breakup. Either Kofi and Big E are turning heel, or Kofi's turning heel. I love the idea of a Kofi Kingston heel turn more than I like the idea of the other two, but the Evolution style. Look at when Randy Orton won that title back in 2004. SummerSlam. 2004. The night after, the thumbs up turned into the thumbs down. Triple H, had Batista drop Randy Orton on his ass, and off to the races they were. Triple H ends up getting the title back, and which ended up leading into the Triple H Batista match at the following year's WrestleMania at 21. And remember, the guy that Orton took it off of was Chris Benoit. So Chris Benoit wins the title at WrestleMania. He ends up defending it in his hometown in Edmonton the next month at Backlash. Carries it for about 4 months and drops it to Orton at Mania. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen, only it's WrestleMania. WrestleMania, Kofi's going to win the title. And I think either the next night or somewhere down the line, one or two things is going to happen, because they're building to this, guys. They're so building it. The writing is so on the wall with this, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant move. So I think what's going to happen is they are going to have Kofi winning, and it's going to be a very Chris Benoit style title run. He'll defend it a couple times and then lose it. If you notice, the reason why I say they're building up to this turn, Big E and Xavier Woods have been doing all the talking for Kofi, except for Tuesday night. Kofi finally stepped up and said, hey, stay out of it. I got this. And if they're building towards an Xavier Woods Big E heel turn, which is what I think is going to happen, then he needs to continue to tell them, step off, I got this. Because up until now, it looked like it was the opposite that was going to happen. Because if you go back to 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, when they first replaced Kofi and announced Kevin Owens was coming back, Kofi kind of took it in stride. He had the boo-boo face on, but it was Big E and Xavier that were pissed, that were saying, no, man, you can't do this to him. You can't do this to him. The same thing happened again at the pay-per-view. Oh, go get your title shot, man. Go get your title shot. An hour later, it's Big E and Xavier going into McMahon's office and making demands. Again, Kofi stays quiet. Kofi is going with the flow. The pay-per-view happens. Kofi gets screwed again. Ends up with in a handicap match with the Bar. Tuesday night, all of them ran in during that I believe it was the first match. And I thought then that they were going to hold the show hostage and tell McMahon to get out there then, but no, they went to the back, came back out, and now we have Big E and Kofi, or Big E and Xavier, doing all the talking again. And this time, though, Kofi steps up and says, I got this. Now, this could still go one of two ways. They can either go the route of Big E and Xavier still doing all the talking, and that ends up being the catalyst for these McMahon decisions to fuck over Kofi. And when Kofi does win the belt, he turns on them and says, I got this on my own. Every time I fucking wanted to open my mouth and I took it with stride and went with the flow. But no, I had a plan. But you guys had to come in and stick your fucking nose in it and make the journey more of a struggle. And for fans, boo! They were just trying to help you, boo! And you're off to the races with a heel Kofi Kingston, babyface Big E, babyface Xavier. Or you could do the route of Kofi still stays silent and does the, hey, I got this. And then you have Big E and Xavier do the heel turn on Kofi. You wouldn't take our advice. You wouldn't let us speak up for you. You wouldn't let us represent. We're a team. You abandoned us to go off on your own. And when we tried to help you get there on your own, you brushed us off to the side. And you're selfish. And you wanted it all about you. I can just hear it, man. It writes itself. This is writing itself. Kind of. But of course, WWE is going to fuck it up. I have no faith. And I'm with AC on this aspect. I have no faith in them to fucking do this the right way. I don't. So, I have no faith in them to do this the right way. I just don't. But that's the Kofi, New Day, Mr. McMahon thing. He's probably going to win the title at Mania. It's not going to be a big title run. My problem with them breaking up the New Day, regardless of who heals and who the babyface is that after that short title run is gone, where's Kofi going to go? Back down to nowhere? Maybe Intercontinental title, U.S. title territory, which means nothing. Big E and Xavier, maybe they stay together as a tag team. Maybe they break apart themselves. Maybe the New Day self-destructs completely. Big E is a guy who I could see having that belt, having the Intercontinental title. He's a good athlete. He's really good in the ring. Xavier Woods, he's so preoccupied with the up, down, down in the video games and then the anime and this and that. He never has to wrestle another day in his life. He can become a WWE ambassador on YouTube and make all the money. Look at what Zack Ryder's done. So, there's places Big E that could go. There's places Xavier can go. Kofi's the one that gets hung out to dry in this whole scenario, in my opinion. Then you got the Shield. Let's talk about the Shield. Here we go. The same fucking match at Fastlane. Nothing changes. Yay! The big dog beat cancer. So let's once again use that as a catalyst to fucking further a storyline. Let's use the man's disease to get him over. And I'm sorry, but I gotta take a shout out to the Soldiers of Shoot on this one. You're wrong. This ain't the concussion protocol. Baron Corbin said in a promo, he's not 100% after his battle with cancer. And all this shit beating him to the head and everything like that, and him saying, oh, I just got a headache, man. I'm just a little woozy. I just got a headache. That is a fucking... Oh, they're going to wrap it all around to him and his cancer. He's still not 100% after his battle. Maybe he should have taken more time off after his battle with leukemia. Again, they're using the disease. Joe Anua'i is using his disease to get himself over. And that, to me, is just lazy. It's fucking lazy. So, anybody who says any different, you're just on the bandwagon, you're on the Roman Reigns fan club, and you can't see the forest through the trees. Speaking of the matches, the match that they had at Fastlane was your typical Shield match. It was your typical Shield brawl. What I think they should have done is you had three tables at ringside. You had 3 opponents. I think if they were really going to use this as an end game, they should have went ahead and just had the blow off there and put all 3 of them through tables, and that should have been it. But no, they went the route of let's pick on them. And Drew McIntyre, I kind of feel sorry for Drew McIntyre because he was red hot after the Dolph Ziggler, or during his time with Ziggler. After Ziggler, he took out Kurt Angle. He was red hot. Everybody thought he was going to get the WWE title at the Royal Rumble or even at WrestleMania. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case. And why WWE does this hot, cold game with him, I have no idea. He's red hot right now. And I thought the angle that they did with him and Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns and everything, kicking him with his head in the handrail on the stairs off the stage, beautiful. Loved it. Loved it. I loved it Monday night with the road. I liked the angle. Here's what kills me. I like the angle, but the fact that they're using the man's cancer as a catalyst for said angle, you know, where's all the idiots out there saying, oh, the SJW is going, this is distasteful. Why are you using cancer as a serious illness? Why are you using it as a storyline? Blah, blah, blah. Nobody's doing that, though. The Ronda Rousey thing. Speaking of people being on the bandwagon. Soldiers of Shoot got it wrong again. Saying that it did not sound like a scripted promo. Saying that it didn't sound robotic. That whole fucking promo, she sounded like Promo Bot 5000. Just with the volume turned up and she spoke quicker. She felt, I mean, what is this, a high school play? Because that's what it came off as. Somebody being angry in the high school play. Rattling their lines out really quick and reciting the script in a way that they could get off stage as quickly as possible. So, it's so scripted. And I'm sorry, Becky's pinning Charlotte at WrestleMania. Anybody who thinks any different, you got blinders on once again. The fucking angle is going to be Becky pins Charlotte once again. And Ronda's going to go away and pull a Brock Lesnar for a long time. She's going to pop out a couple of babies. And, you know, then maybe down the line, the only good thing is down the line you can have your match with Becky and Ronda one-on-one. But yeah, they're totally just... I have no interest in this anymore. I am with the Soldiers of Shoot on this one. I have no interest in this anymore. Becky's coming off as fucking lame. You know, I'm glad we won't get to see her with that crutch anymore. We won't need to see her with it anymore. Charlotte just comes off as, yes, she's good, she's the best. She's who McMahon wants in the match. She's the chosen one. But I just don't, you know, I have no interest. I have no interest. Once they made this a triple threat, once Ronda came out there the night she laid that belt down, and it said pretty much, hey, add her to the match, and gave it away, my interest was gone. We knew it was coming. We knew this is what the man wanted, but my interest was gone. That's pretty much all I have for now. This video is going on 30 minutes. Remember, if you see a big rig or tractor trailer on the road, do not tailgate us. Give us plenty of room. Share the road. If you can't see our mirrors, we can't see you. And we'll see you down the road.